What's up guys, Julian Goldie here, and in this video we're going to look how to quickly build your first 1000 backlinks. Now backlinks are one of the most important parts of SEO, and if you're new to search engine optimization, you probably have no idea how you can build links. Of course, even if you do know a little bit about link building, you might not know how to build a lot of backlinks. Now, if you're in this position, it's actually a big issue, because if you only know how to build a few backlinks here and there, well, you're not going to be able to overtake the high authority websites you're competing against in the search listings on Google. And these sites are likely to have hundreds or even thousands of backlinks to compete with. So you need to know how to build backlinks on a large scale if you want to achieve decent rankings, especially in most niches. Now, fortunately, this video is going to cover some of the best tactics that will help you build amazing backlinks at scale. And some of these strategies, such as the ones we'll cover in section number 2, can help you land high authority links with relatively little upfront spend. Other tactics though, such as the one in section number 3, will be useful for people that have an actual link building budget and want to use this money to supercharge their link building campaigns. Either way, no matter what kind of website you're trying to rank, the tactics in this video will help you secure a good number of amazing backlinks. So make sure you watch until the end, or else you might not ever overtake that competitor that's beating you in the search listings right now. Let's get started. So the first approach we're going to cover here is the Skyscraper method. Now this tactic is kind of famous in the SEO community, and you might be familiar with it already. Of course, if you need a little bit of a refresher, here's basically how it works. Okay, so the main idea with this approach is you're essentially just going to create a better piece of content than your competitors, and you're then going to get links from the people that are linking to your competitors already. Sounds too simple and maybe too good to be true? Well, to be fair, there's a little more to this method, and we'll cover that later, but for the most part, this strategy can be boiled down to these steps, and it absolutely has the ability to deliver results. For example, here's what one of my clients achieved after I helped them implement this technique. As you can see, their traffic really started to spike once we started building backlinks for them using this tactic. By the way, I just want to say that if you'd like to learn a little bit more about how we do this for our clients, you can book in a free consulting call with my agency at juliangoldie.com. Anyway, earlier we just covered a super simplified overview of how this approach works. Now let's cover some of the key steps associated with this tactic in a bit more detail. Okay, so first of all, you'll need to identify a keyword that you want to rank for. Now, when it comes to identifying the right keywords, you just want to focus on something that to be considered a high value keyword in your niche. Obviously, I can't really tell you what that is, but you probably have a rough idea of what this might be for your website. Now, if you need some help though, you should check out this video of mine where I go over keyword research and how you can do it properly. It's called How to Do Keyword Research. Moving on, once you've identified a good keyword, you then want to look at who's linking to the top content ranking for this search term. Now, if you want to find out who's linking to your competitors, you can use a tool like Ahrefs. Now, with this tool, you just provide a URL and it will then tell you about the sites linking to the page you're trying to beat. By the way, if you want to check out this tool, you can find a link to it in the description of this video. Anyhow, after that, you then have to create something better than what's already ranking so far. And you can do this by making something that's more in depth and detailed and comprehensive. You might even want to add a few more graphics than your competitors. And finally, you need to contact the people and websites already linking to the existing top ranking content in your niche. That's because you need to let them know about your content so they can actually link to it. Now, the outreach part of this method can be kind of difficult, but there are special tools like Hunter, for example, that can help you out here, right? So Hunter can help you send out mass outreach campaigns that will raise awareness around your content so that people can link to it. And if you want to learn more about how you can use this tool, you should check out this video of mine called How to Set Up Hunter.io Campaigns, Cold Emails in 9 minutes. And you can also find a link to this tool in the description of this video. Okay, so that's the first method covered. And with this method, it might seem initially a little bit intimidating, but I promise it's not as difficult as it looks once you get started. but you should learn how this approach works because it can deliver great results even if you don't have any money to spend on link building. And by the way, before we move on to the next section, I just want to say here, please take a moment to like and subscribe us on YouTube, right? If you like our videos, it's going to help me reach more people. Plus, if you become a subscriber, it's going to be super easy for you to find my future videos. After all, this video will teach you how to build your first 1,000 backlinks, but don't you want to learn how to build your first 10,000 links too, right? And what about your first million links? Well, if you become a subscriber, you'll learn exactly how you can do just that. Okay, I probably won't be able to teach you how to build a million links, but I'll definitely teach you how to build more high quality links that actually increase your rankings and get you ranked higher than your competitors. And in the end, isn't that the most important thing? So next up, the next link building tactic that we're going to cover here is called the HARO approach. Now, HARO stands for Help a Reporter Out, and it's a very good way to secure links on high authority sites. Now, with this method, you're basically just going to offer yourself up as a source for reporters that need help when they're writing their articles. If a journalist ends up using you as a source, they might then credit you in the article by linking to your website. Now, a lot of these journalists write for high authority sites, and so this credit is going to have a huge impact on your rankings. And I've used this method for some of my own clients, and it's delivered some amazing results. Here's an example of a site that hit over 146,000 monthly visits thanks to HARO link building. And here's an example of one of the links we managed to secure for our clients. Pretty cool, right? So if you want to build links using this method, you'll want to sign up to either HARO or sourcebottle.com. And if you sign up to these websites, you can set things up so that you can get emails based on certain topics relevant to you. And these emails will contain journalist requests, and you can then submit responses based on what the journalist is actually asking for. If you want to do well here, you should respond to requests as fast as possible, and you should also make your responses super relevant to the journalist's request. And if you do this, it's going to be easier for the journalist to incorporate your response into their article. And this is then going to improve the odds of the journalist actually using you as a source. Now, another approach you might want to consider is working with a link building service or agency. Now, this tactic is obviously suited to people that have a high link building budget. So if you're not at that point yet, you might feel as though you just want to skip over this section. However, before you do that, wait, because you might want to rethink things here, right? And that's because as your website begins to grow, you'll probably end up in a position where you do have a bit of money left over for link building. And because of that, the info in this section is very useful for you, even if you don't have a link building budget right now. Okay, so anyhow, if you want help with link building, you can often find relevant people on websites like Upwork. Now, before you invest in outsourcing link building, you should always ask for case studies or even just examples of backlinks that they've already built. And these examples will give you a rough sense of how good they are at this kind of thing. Now, you might also want to ask how long it generally takes for them to build links. And if you find that a certain kind of link building method works well for your website, you may want to find someone that specializes in this specific tactic. For example, if HARO works really well for your website, you might just want to hire a HARO link building expert. I also mentioned that if you're willing to spend money on backlinks, you may just want to consider creating your own link building team and hiring people step by step. For instance, suppose you're already getting great results with the Skyscraper method. Well, if that's the case, maybe you actually want to break things down, create an SOP around that approach. You could then hire people and give them this document. This would then allow you to basically create a team that builds backlinks for you using this tactic. And if you want to outsource link building, but you don't want to use an external service, this kind of strategy may be a good middle ground. Now, guest posting is another way you can build backlinks to your website. Guest posting is super simple and it's been around for years and years and years. And this approach has lasted so long because of the simple fact that it actually works, okay? So the main idea here is that you just approach websites in your niche and you ask them if they'd let you write a guest post for their website. And if they say yes, you write the content. And if they publish your post, you can include a link to your site in the author's bio or in the actual content. Now, if you want to find guest posting opportunities, you can use special search strings on Google. And here's a short list of some of the search strings you can use for this kind of thing, courtesy of backlinko.com. Now here's what comes up if I use one of these strings to find guest posting opportunities in the fishing niche. As you can see, there's plenty of websites that I could approach here. Of course, if you don't have any experience writing guest posts, it may be hard to land a guest post on one of the big websites with a lot of traffic and authority. That's not a problem though, because I can just focus on the smaller websites to begin with, right? And these sites are often willing to let you write for them, even if you don't have a lot of existing guest posts or authority in your niche already. After all, website owners are always in need of high quality content, and so if you can write something amazing, there's a good chance that people will be willing to accept your guest posts. Anyhow, if I land guest posts on these websites, I'll be able to build up my personal brand, and I'll then eventually be able to approach some of the larger websites as I'll have more credibility. So by the way, most of the sites that offer guest posting opportunities will have strict rules when it comes to what they accept. You need to make sure you stick to these rules and guidelines, or else you may not be able to get your article published on their website. Okay, so that's the end of this video. If you have any questions, please drop a message in the comment section and I'll do my absolute best to answer any queries you might have. Of course, there's tons of other link building tactics that you can use, and we've really only scratched the surface in this video. Either way, these tactics should get you off to a good start, especially if you're new to SEO. I mean, if you concentrate on one of these tactics for around 3 to 6 months, there's a high chance that you'll build some amazing backlinks that will have a huge impact on your rankings. Anyhow, thanks for watching this video, and remember to like and subscribe. If you like our videos, it'll be easier for other people interested in SEO to find our content. Plus, if you become a subscriber, you'll get to see some of my other videos where I cover other link building tactics, as well as some of my personal tips on how you can explain SEO to family members, because I'm sure they're still wondering what you mean when you say you do SEO.
Something else is bothering me. Last week nobody helped Obama in the voting. Like, there's no black senators. No black senators.
Anyway, by the way, if you'd like to watch another video about backlinks and link building, you should check out this one on 4 ways to know if your backlinks are high quality, where I cover 4 ways you can figure out if a backlink is actually quality or not. And if you're serious about link building, you should definitely check this video out, because the quality of your backlinks can really determine your success with SEO. After all, you don't want to end up in a position where you've built 1,000 backlinks only to discover that they're low quality and not going to have much of an impact on your rankings, right? Well, fortunately, if you watch this video, you can prevent something like that happening to you.